Hi everyone, this is Aaron with Crypto Trends. Today is March 6th, 2019. Please keep in mind this is not financial advice, just my opinion. Tonight we're covering Trump's plan for the economy. It is visionary. 5G, crypto, and more. So let's go take a look and see what is going on. Alright, so we're going to start here. Well, first off, let me break off the chat. Little admin function. Just starting, waiting for people to come on. Okay, so this is what's going on. We had the President, Donald J. Trump, send out a tweet. And this is on February 21st, 2019. The link is below. It says, I want 5G and even 6G technology in the United States as soon as possible. It is far more powerful, faster, and smarter than the current standard. American companies must step up their efforts or get left behind. There is no reason that we should be lagging behind on, etc., all this stuff. Okay? So, that was a tweet. He really wants 5G. And what else do we have going on here? Well, recently, we have an article from NASDAQ. And this is done today, March 6, 2019. Let's go ahead and give this a read. It says, Trump looks to nationalize 5G. And giving this a read, Trump apparently wants to control 5G in a state-run socialist twist to American capitalism. And now there are indications that it could become part of the 2020 election campaign. Over the weekend, President Donald Trump's 2020 campaign team renewed its controversial pitch on nationalizing the country's 5G network. In other words, the governments would have control of 5G airwaves and lease access to private wireless providers. And yeah, so this is it, and you can go on and read that. It's a pretty good read on what they want to do. And there is one piece to note here, is that as far as the actual nationalization of 5G, they step back a little bit and just want 5G in country. That's their main thing. So as long as the AT&T and Verizon and whatever go ahead and put 5G in, that's fine. He just wants 5G, and then he wants development of 6G, so even faster. That's a big thing. It's a big push. Okay? And the whole sell point is to, get everybody on board and more faster and have coverage for everyone across the United States. And so what's going on with this? I mean, there's some kickbacks from the Federal Commission, the FCC, and stuff like that. Okay, fine. But then there's a memo from the National Security Office that insisted that a strong, controlled 5G network is necessary as a bulwark against Chinese threats to America's economy and cybersecurity. So there you go. Get it in. If you do it our way, fine. We keep it private. But we're going to regulate it. If not, we're going to take control over it as a means of national security and treat it as a utility. That's basically the gist of it. Why? Because China has achieved a dominant position in the manufacture and operation of network infrastructure. China is the dominant malicious actor in the information domain. This is reading from the memo right here. Okay? Go ahead and give this a read. This is an important article. It's from NASDAQ. The article's below. What do you think about this? Okay, so next. What else is going on? So, we have a big push from Trump. He's talking about this. He talked about this before. He brought it up again. Big push here. Bringing it up. Get 5G, get 5G, get 5G. get coverage. We got to compete. We don't want to be left behind. We have Putin saying, actually ordering his people to get on the ball and get the regulations done July 1st of this year, right? Yeah. And let me make sure that I'm streaming with the sound. If anybody can hear me, say, yeah, hi, I can hear you, all right? That'd be like cool. Double X says, I'm the best. Hey, thanks, Double X. Appreciate it. Yeah, and David G says, keyword controlled. Yeah. Hey, if you guys can hear me, just say, yeah, I hear you fine. Anyway, I assume I'm okay because you left comments, so thanks. All right. Excuse me. All right, so what we have going on here, we have the NASDAQ article, and we have the Trump tweet that we've seen. Here's another very important article. Now, this is a long one. It's a PDF, but give it a read. It's one of the most important things that will give you some great insight, okay? It's by, Josias Dewey, Robert Hill, and Rebecca Placencia. Blockchain and 5G-enabled Internet of Things, IoT, will redefine supply chains and trade finance. Yeah, we know this pretty much, don't we? We're ahead of the curve. We know this, but here it goes. This is a fairly lengthy article, but it goes in depth, and it will shed light on what it is. But right here, this is like this one little PDF link. It has like 2-3 pages, okay, so you guys can get through it. But right here it has existing supply chains and trade finance, okay. Currently, the movement of goods and commodities across the globe is driven by processes that have remained static over many decades and in some cases centuries. Yeah, we know that. We know it's time to increase and get the ball moving, right? And so they talk about that. It talks about blockchain here. Impact of blockchain, 5G IoT on supply chains and trade finance. Okay. Talks about the promise of secure and real-time data about goods in transit required. Talks about how people want to how shippers don't want to ship until they get paid, and the purchasers don't want to pay until they receive the goods, and then goes in between some type of middleman. What kind of use case does that sound like to you? Maybe a smart contract? Yeah, so they are really looking at things. They have this article here, talks about it, has the use cases, a lot of good use cases. And it's really too much for me to cover right here, but definitely check it out. Here's 5G and IoT. 5G refers to the next generation of wireless technology that will replace today's 4G LTE standard. Yeah, we know that. The main thing here, there was one part in here. Okay, right here. The aggregate effect of 5G technology will be to allow wireless networks with far greater capability to support bandwidth-intensive content, large-scale sensor arrays, and low-latency remote control applications than existing wireless networks. Okay, so what do we have that kind of goes into just that one section of the paragraph here? Okay, we have the sensor arrays. Who is into supply chain in the techno field, in the crypto field? What first comes to mind to me is VeChain. Okay, each VeChain. And why do I say VeChain? Because a large sensor of arrays. It's because they're working on a smart city that will have the large sensor of arrays spread around the city. They're also doing work with universities in the United States and elsewhere particularly on edge computing capabilities. That is where the computing capabilities are basically pushed out to the very edges of the network. So instead of having a server, the big server that does all the processing and so on, call it like a big node, instead of having one great big node at a central location, let's say you have a smaller node that's pushed out on top of a light pole or on top of a 5G tower, and it's right there and it does the processing super fast. What will that enable? Well, everyone kind of thinks those Tesla cars are cool, right? And they have the driving, the automatic driving. Well, if they have sensors that go along and they have 5G, 5G is fast enough to where they can actually make it so the cars can talk together. And they can talk together across the blockchain if it's indeed fast enough for some type of sidechain solution. So they could be talking to each other, and they could be giving each other their distance, their exact geographic location, their geodesic location. So okay, 5 meters in front and to the right of you, okay, stuff like that, to help prevent for navigation capabilities. Okay, so they could do that with the sensors. They could have the cars communicate back and forth. They can have automatic traffic control. We've seen something like that where Dovu originally wanted to do that. We had the thing with VeChain and BMW, the partnership, come out, right, where they're going to store the information for like service maintenance and the mileage on the car, stuff like that. But it could also be used for a lot of other things. I'm thinking the stuff with BMW and VeChain is just the beginning. There's also another that no one ever hardly ever talks about. It used to get a lot of steam, and that is IOTA. Yeah, IOTA is doing stuff with vehicles, aren't they? Yes. And so give IOTA a little bit of love. All right, they're into IoT as well. So we have, who's in IoT? We have IOTA for cars. We have VeChain for cars. So VeChain is also hooked up with Renault. They're hooked up with BYD, the biggest electric car company in China, guys. And this is how things are going. And how are they going to drive? How are they going to communicate over 5G? And the United States needs 5G. It also needs 5G for the economic side. And there's a lot of just general talk about the Federal Reserve and how the dollar, and everybody in crypto knows, the Federal Reserve, and stuff like this, and the big banks and the central banks, give me the crypto, right? That's the general thing that got crypto going, was the banks, the failure, right? That was the impetus behind Bitcoin. And so that's another thing. So you can watch the administration's stance on the Fed as far as raising interest rates and so on and so forth. And you can tell that they're actually distancing themselves. They're distancing themselves. Also, there's political pressure from foreign countries. Russia, hey, get crypto going. China's like on the ball, man. They're way ahead of the United States as far as crypto goes and building up an infrastructure. They're like on the ball. Trump wants that, and not only that, but to surpass China. What does that say for the future of crypto in the U.S.? Now, yesterday, somebody asked me if I thought that the taxation thing that's being levied for capital gains on crypto would ever be removed. And at that point in time, I'm thinking, there's no way in heck. There's no way. They're going to want to get their money. But I changed my mind. Okay, with this new information and the energy that's behind it, with the push and everything going for it, yeah, I think that there's going to be some exceptions to where crypto might be exempt once again. It might be some special use cases as far as like how it's hooked into the communications and stuff like that. So for like utility stuff, but we'll see. It's pretty much up in the air. So what will happen on an economic forefront that the crypto enables, and it enables a country like the U.S. and others to actually step away from the central banks. It gives them a platform that they did not have before. They did not have the ability to just get off of and away from the central banks with something that could be rolled out fairly quick and that would be accepted. We have the gold reserves. We have the gold reserves to back it. Whether we back the currency with gold reserves, or we back with oil, or we back it with something else, we'll see. But I'm thinking that it will be backed. Okay, what is pointing towards this to me is that silver coin minting is keeps on running out. You know, what are they doing with the silver? I'm thinking they're kind of holding on to it instead of dishing it out in coins. They're stockpiling it, and they want the reserves and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens with that. It's just a very interesting thing. So we have 5G, the push for 5G. That's what Trump wants. It's in his tweet. He wants to go. He has the political pressure from other countries. He does not want to have the U.S. get left behind. We have the issues with the central bank and the fiat systems and all the shenanigans that get pulled and so on and so forth. Another thing with crypto is that transactions can be traceable. I mean down to every single thing that you buy at the grocery store. It can all be tracked. What does that mean? That means that there could be automatic taxation. You would no longer have to do taxes. It would just be done. There could be like a national sales tax put in place. No loopholes, none of this, just done. Done, taken out. Streamlining of the country. Trump is really big into streamlining things, finding efficiencies. This all points towards many of the benefits and opportunities that crypto can give. That's about it. So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on crypto, on Trump, on 5G? Why the big push? 5G and even 6G. He might know something we don't, right, with 6G. I don't know if I want to sit near a 6G tower. Probably singe off all of my hair, what's left. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that? Let me know. And very interesting. This is huge, enormous energy for crypto. That's all there is to it. It's the kind of energy that we've all known was there and we could feel. Couldn't put our finger on it, but we could feel it. There's something happening. Here's a bit of insight into what is happening. This is going to be a big thing for 2020 in his re-election campaign. It's going to be a big deal, and I'm sure we're going to see more information come out about it and what he actually wants and his visions and stuff like that. Interesting thing. I think Trump is actually getting America set up so he can say goodbye, Federal Reserve. And we'll see. Thoughts on that? Leave them below. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and get notified. That's it for this evening. So I'm going to go check out the chat real quick. Anybody's there? And yes, I need coffee. My voice is like going. Excuse me. Okay, so hey everyone. Thanks for much better voice. So thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, get notified, and all that good stuff. And I did finally manage to get my public address for Digibyte. I stuck it down below. So that was a request from a viewer. So Do with it what you will. Anyway, so let's go read some chats here. Let's go read some questions. So Double X, you're the best. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. David G, keyword controlled. Yep. Okay, so the sound is good. They can hear me. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Hey, Fawad, how's it going, man? Ah, Fawad, you're a political scientist. Well, then this is right up your alley. So let's see what he says. As a political scientist and historian, I have to disagree with you about your title regarding Trump's economy. About Trump's economy. Well, what is my title? My title is Trump's plan for the economy is visionary. How could it be anything other than that? He's talking about having a. He's talking about moving away from the Federal Reserve. He's talking about moving away from basic Keynesian economics. Okay? Explain. Please specify. Let's have a good debate on this. Not an argument. Well, classical argument, and speaking in logic terms. But, let's have a debate on this. Put the information. Why? And I'm saying do this. Either put it in the chat or put it in the comments so others can see. All right? This is an important thing to actually have to converse about. So why do you disagree? Hey, let me know. I don't have a problem you disagree with me. Just what's your point? Okay? Enlighten me. What title would you give it? Okay? And titles aren't easy, guys. I mean, you have to think of something that people might click on. Okay, how are you going to word this? You have so many letters, and Anyway, so yeah, if you have a better idea, let me know. And David G says, keep going, Fawad. Yeah, let us know. And he likes vet. Yeah, I like vet too. Hey, Todd, how's it going? Okay, Michael E. says, heard what Serial Brain 2 has to say about Trump's plan for 5G. Sounds awesome. No, actually, I've heard of Serial Brain 2. I think he's some type of poster, and he gets into what do they call it? It's not numerology, but it's kind of like numerology, but with words. Gematria, something like that. That's about all I know. But I'll have to check that out. If somebody else is talking about this, that'd be like way cool. So Michael E says, get into Go tonight. Wake up, Rich. All right, haven't heard of Go other than Golang. So we'll see. Michael also says they'll take down the USD before they let the market plunge. Yeah, that's right. That's right. They have a protection team in there. Okay? It says TKY, man. China. Yeah, TKY, man, as in Matrix AI. Man is their ticker. I think that's China. Let me scroll that out, see what you have to say. Oh, Cina. C-I-N-A. I haven't heard of Cina. Have to check that one out. And no one says salutations. Hello. Hello, no one. How's it going? Michael Eath thinks silver. Be back by silver. Very well could be. 5G and AG? Oh, what's AG? I'm not familiar with AG. Another thing is here. So, government won't like APL, Apple? Not so sure. Not so sure. They are trying to repatriate them, aren't they, though? Isn't that interesting? I think what happened is that here's when everything seemed to turn. When the two airplanes crashed, and then all of a sudden they had the issue with the boat. China got in. China has chips in military aircraft, in military stuff. They have no reason to be there whatsoever. It's compromised, and so they could just turn off the nav system to an airplane and crash it to the ground, whatever. And I think that's what happened, because when two airplanes crash within a week, that's pretty much just statistically impossible. Okay, we're talking beyond we're talking beyond 3 alphas. Okay, it's maybe 4. Okay, I mean the odds of that are really low, really low. So that's when things started to turn as far as upgrading everything electronically. Interesting times. But so Apple, we'll see. If Apple might have to come back. Otherwise, Apple products and a whole bunch of other products, I don't know. You tell me. Do you think they'll be allowed in the U.S. or not? Remember the thing going on with Huawei, the cell phone company, right? The big guy's in trouble. Yeah. Why? Espionage, maybe? Yeah. Check that out. Todd says, I'm pumped. Yeah, me too. This is huge news. It's not like I presented it in Moon Boy type of thing. This is more serious. Moon Boy to me is like a wave, okay? This is where the ocean increases. It goes up. The entire ocean goes up. So yeah, I'm pumped. Michael says, me too. Yeah. And David's just going to keep accumulating. Cool. And guys, keep doing your own thing. Whatever works best for you. Hey, best of luck to you. Michael Lee says, Google Serial Brain 2 5G Trump. Okay, will do. I'll do that. And Todd says, I mine BTC. He mines BTC, LTC, DGB, and buy on every dip. Sounds like Todd knows something. Todd, what's your electric bill, man? Probably don't have to turn the heater on in the winter, huh? Don't put it down, I'm just joking, but yeah, that's pretty cool that you're mining. So that's righteous. And those coins are pretty righteous. Bet you're happy of late with LTC's recent increase, right? Well, DGB's been increasing too. Well, they all have. You've been doing well. Okay, so Michael says, accumulating BTC, XRP, DGB, TKY, ZEC, and ETH. All wonderful things. Yeah, and please keep in mind, I'm not an XRP hater. I mean, I just took profits on them, okay? ZEC, ETH, yeah. Great coins. Those are some great coins. And there's about 2,500 crap coins, right? Anyway, yeah. So let's see what else is here. Mike Lee says, I love how if it has Trump's name in it, people automatically will disagree with it. Doesn't make sense. Yeah. It's one of those things. It's like how people get on the Republican Party about being racist and all this stuff, and all they have to do is like go look at the history on why the Republican Party was founded. There you go. You might change your mind. If you don't know, check it out. Research first Republican president, Lincoln. What did Lincoln do? Yeah. It's stuff like that. And then people just have their own reasons. And in chats like this and stuff like that, it's difficult to fully express them. So I don't know. We have to give people the benefit of the doubt. Have a high level debate, conversation about things, and we'll see. And it's just trying to appreciate another person's point of view. Maybe they're onto something a little bit that we haven't seen, and then maybe we can offer them some insight as well. It's a conversation, a sharing of knowledge. Good debate. Healthy. But yeah, so it doesn't make sense. It's just because the medium of exchange that we're using here for communication is all. I chalk that up a lot. Same as emails. Emails are terrible to communicate with. Texts, even lower. So, Michael E. says, MSM really got us good, as in mainstream media. Yeah. Oh, you know what I noticed? I put something like a word or something here in the chat, and then all of a sudden ads started popping up in Google and like in YouTube and stuff like that had to deal with this one different word I typed in. It was quite interesting. So MSN and search engines. Yeah. Oh, Christoph says, can't copy and paste my Digibyte address. Oh no. That's terrible. Well, I stuck it in there. I have no idea. Well, I have to figure that out. Thanks for checking. I do appreciate it. I'll try to fix that. So, Fawad, let's see what Fawad has to say. Trump talks about everything and anything. He doesn't have the complexity to understand the economy. He doesn't have the cabinet to push the kind of revolutionary change that you were talking about. Okay, so there, see? So, a little bit more explanation. And he doesn't talk a lot about economics, does he? He doesn't talk a lot about economics. He is smart. I have to give him that. He is smart. He does talk at different levels to different people. I do know that he does that. He's able to do whatever, that's what he does. It's like I'm not going to talk computerese to you guys because that's not the general, vocabulary for people. And that's fine. It's just a thing of communication. But as far as what Fawad's talking about, I'm really not sure if the guy has the complexity to understand the economy and stuff. I really haven't heard him speak anything of really of economics, to say the truth, other than basically stuff like interest rates up, bad, interest rates down, good. Pretty much at that level. It's a pretty low denomination, I will give you that. Fine, yeah, it's I don't know, what would you call about 6th grade level, if that. But that might just be he's trying to get his point across to people that don't understand economics, that have never, if you mention the invisible hand, they might think you're talking about some porno. Instead of some dude back in our history, right? Yeah, that's what we'll call him, a dude back in our history. With the invisible hand, as far as economics goes. It's a tricky one how he talks. Nothing like Reagan. Reagan had far more, or at least put out, he had a lot more sophistication as far as economics goes and talking about it and so forth than Mr. Trump here. But I think he's smarter than what he's portraying himself to be. But anyway, it really doesn't matter, does it? Because what is he pushing? He's pushing 5G. What else is he pushing? He's pushing a separation from the Federal Reserve. Presidents have been talking about that forever. To get away from that. So how he puts it or whatever, if he can get it done, that's cool. If he can get it done where others have failed, hey, That's cool. Are we going to go back on the gold standard? Are we going to go back on a silver standard? Are we going to go back on something else? We'll see. But yeah, as far as geopolitical stuff like that, as far as the level of sophistication on how he talks, yeah, I'll give you that. It's a bit underwhelming. Yeah, and he doesn't have the cabinet to push the kind of revolutionary change that you were talking about. He might. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. If he can get it done, he can get it done. I think he relies an awful lot on others, somewhat similar to what Reagan did, to get things done. We'll see. We'll see. Kind of early. You very well could be right. And that's just something, we'll see. And then, let's see. Christoph says, I'll try it manually. Okay, cool. Yeah, because I'm like right here and I don't, let's see. Can I get back to it? Maybe I can put it in the chat. Maybe that'll work better. Because it's just the actual address. It's not like the Go link and stuff. It's not like I ever do this. This is the first time I actually got it down in there. Let's see. I'll pop it in here in the chat. See if that works for you. Boom. Ba-ba-bing. Okay, so moving on. Thank you for the comment, Fawad. Being a political scientist, yes, your views are valued. So let's see, just trying, I lost my space here. Thank you guys for all the questions. I mean, look at the quality of the comments here you guys are leaving. Do I not have the best audience in the whole world? I think I do. Yeah, China, lots of laughs, yeah. Okay, Fawad says, I would take anything Trump says with a grain of salt. I can give you hundreds of examples where he has said something and changed his mind or denied he said that. Yeah, I mean, I like Trump, but my nickname for him is The Cave. Take that whichever way you like. I do like Trump, though, okay? Don't get me wrong. But, yeah, my nickname for him is The Cave. So, David thinks AJ will be silver. All right. Oh, Apple, APL, is Apollo, the super-duper private Monero killer. I'm sorry. I was thinking about Apple Computer. That's APPL, isn't it? I've been on the stock exchange too long. Anyway, Apollo, yeah, a grain of salt. Take everything with a grain of salt with Apollo. I've heard mixed things about it, okay? I've heard mixed things about it. A Monero killer. I'll tell you this, dude. I mean, dudettes out there. Anything that has to deal with security that's online is not secure. You can have the world's best encryption program. You can have 10,000 crypto algorithms running on this super duper blockchain thing or whatever, and guess what? Doesn't mean jack. Why? Because the device it's running on at the hardware level is compromised. That's what the Huawei thing is about. At the device level inside the chip, it is compromised. I think that that was one of the things that Edward Snowden bumped out, actually, too. I've known about that for a long time. Anyway, so don't think that any type of privacy, anything is private. It's not. If it was truly private, guess what? It would fall under national security and would not be allowed to be public. Okay, that was enough of my rant on privacy coins. Ed asks, any thoughts on DBC, D-Brain Chain, Chinese AI, decentralized computer? Gee, 5G and 6G will certainly help it, won't it? Yeah, maybe something is, yeah, that's my one thing with AI on networks, is that the servers might be able to handle the load, but the network isn't there to communicate it fast enough. You could have chains that say, oh, I do 1 million transactions a second, and they very well could at a standalone PC, but when it comes to talking across multiple servers across the globe, the routers need to be upgraded, man. The hardware, the actual lines. Do you go if you're having a T1 line, a T3 line? That's not fast enough, man. You need fiber. And then if you have regular fiber, well, maybe you need dark fiber. Okay? It's the wiring infrastructure needs to be upgraded to facilitate the massive requirements for AI. And please keep in mind, I'm talking about strong AI, general AI, which is different than deep brain chain. But I think that's where they want to go, is in more in the realm of strong AI. And if you don't know what I specifically mean by that, it's kind of like what you think of AI being. If you've seen iRobot, iRobot is an excellent example of strong AI. Todd says, used your DGB address. Really? You did? I have to go look and see on my phone if it went through. Well, thank you so much. I really, really super duper uber appreciate it. Bing. Oh my gosh. There it is. That is so awesome. I just installed this Digibyte wallet, and that is like really, really cool. Thank you so much. Let's see. Fawad. Plus, okay, so good. Thank you, Fawad, for giving us info here. Okay, so Fawad. Plus, let's say, hypothetically, he can revolutionize the economy like I said. He doesn't have the political capital to push that kind of change. He's too busy dodging questions about potential whatevers. Yeah, he's being kept pretty busy, isn't he? And that's by design. And why is it by design? I mean, Trump is guilty. Trump is guilty of winning. That's, he is definitely guilty of that. But right now he does not have the political capital. Yes, if he tried to actually push this now, 5% chance on a good day. But as I said, this is his big push for 2020, is going to be part of his campaign in 2020. Maybe by that time, things will have changed. We shall see. From now to 2020, there could be a lot of things that happen in between. So we'll just see. But yeah, right now it'd be a hard move. Do I think he's going to actually nationalize the network? No, I don't think so. As a matter of fact, I think he already backed off of that. He just wants the companies to get it going. That's his main thing. Okay, Michael, he says, seriously, don't like LTC, but maybe would be smart to just buy one. They're using it in Venezuela now, I guess. No, they're not using it in Venezuela. Kind of like what they wanted you to believe. They've been using it, yes. They are using it, yes. Same as Bitcoin, yes. Same as Digibyte, yes. And a few others. Dash. But as far as you sending money to Venezuela, to the central bank basically of Venezuela, what they do is then They keep the Bitcoin or the Litecoin. They turn it into their fiat equivalency. They take a cut off the top, and then they give it to the recipient. Why not just send it to the recipient directly? I mean, that's what blockchain is all about. So what they're doing is a money grab, a Bitcoin grab, a Litecoin grab, and it's going to be going directly to the central bank. Send your crypto. You might as well send your. That's like sending your crypto to the Federal Reserve, man. That's their articles and stuff. I did a video on it if you haven't seen it. But it is just that article and stuff like that. It's like, man, you're sending money. You're sending money to the central bank of Venezuela. You're sending it to Maduro and friends. Okay, that's what's going on. And the recipients are not getting the coin. They're getting the worthless fiat. It sounds great the way they presented it, but you read into it, and it's like, oh man, this is an empty burrito. It's a hollow burrito, a nothing burger. Anyway, if you're in the U.S. and you try to send stuff to Venezuela, that's a no-no. Litecoin, yeah, you don't like Litecoin? Well, I made a 3-4x on Litecoin, so I like it in that regard. Its use case is, I think of it as being a little bit faster Bitcoin. If you want stuff that can really be used like Bitcoin, check out Digibyte. Digibyte be fast, man. Digibyte be fast. As you can see, that's why I wanted to check the phone real quick to see if something popped up, to see how fast it would actually come. Because if that was Ether, it still wouldn't be there. Bitcoin, oh man. Bitcoin has gotten faster, but you guys know what I mean. But Digibyte is like fast, man. It's fast. So let's see what else we have going on. And Todd says lots of laughs. Okay. Moving on. Hey, Honjio. How's it going, man? Mahalo. Says aloha. LTC is still pumping. Yep. Still pumping, like I said in the... I did a little drawing on LTC. And I said that it was going to be, bump up because they're getting ready to have the dispersal. They're ready to dump their bags on you. So they bump it up to get everyone to FOMO buy. And while they're buying, they can dump quicker. And then bam! Anyway, you guys know the trend. Watch my video on that where I drew the upward thing where they have distribution. Or check out Wyckoff distribution. Yeah, that's what's a-coming. It's not because all of a sudden something great, marvelous happened to LTC that I don't know, that was just stupendous. So let's go on, moving on. Forward, another comment here. Crimes he committed. Okay, what crimes? Right now, he's too busy explaining how many porn stars he paid off, who ripped off, potential... Let's see, I gotta scroll down. Potential lying perjury and an investigation of potential Russian collusion. Okay. Do your research. Do your research, Fawad. Don't believe everything that you hear on media. You know, or you maybe you don't, but I think you probably do, that you know that Obama passed a law regulation to where propaganda is now legal in the media. Did he not? Check that out. And so everything I read in our media, I take as being one form or another as propaganda. And in other words, you're not getting the full story on either. I can tell you this energetically, there's things at work that transcend Republicans, Democrats, socialists, communists, fascists. It transcends that, okay? there's forces at play that transcend that. Some people call it a cabal or something like that, whatever. But there are forces to where, and I have experience where, I'm not going to say, just trust me on it. You can see it with false flags. False flag, what's a big false flag? Tonkin Gulf, right? Tonkin. What was another one? Pearl Harbor. Yeah, we had purple cracked. Purple was an encryption code the Japanese used. We had that cracked a while, and we knew that they were going to attack, and good old Roosevelt let them. Anyway, and that type of BS has been going on for a long time. So, you could be right, you could be wrong. My thing is, I don't trust information from either side. So let's see what David G. Thank you for the comment, Fawad. We appreciate it. David G. Unemployment is at an all-time lows, but thousands of people are getting let go from multiple major retail stores. Absolutely, it's because the numbers are being manipulated. That during Obama, they gave him the ability to cook the books way beyond. They had Bush before that was able to cook the books to an extent. Reagan to a much lesser extent. You have basically the economy is going to hell in a handbasket. Okay, they're saying, "Oh, it looks great. It looks fantastic." What's the reason for this? Trump is having them cook the books. This is just my opinion. Okay, it's something out there, but Trump is having them cook the books, and to make everything look great, so he can say, "Oh, everything's great," and then all of a sudden it's not. The dollar's collapsing. And then what's happening? The Fed will do something. Basically, it's so that Trump can blame the Federal Reserve instead of the other way around. He's setting the Fed up, and that ties into this, into my video cast here tonight about going on the 5G and going on to crypto. It's about separating from the Fed, and 5G network is going to enable crypto to actually be used in the United States. Okay, so I'm thinking that we'll see a lot of stuff. Stuff is going to start hitting the fan probably 1 to 2 years after his second term in office. Okay, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, major retail stores closing. It's a big deal. The unemployment numbers, they don't count. They don't publish the real unemployment numbers. Consumerism is waning, absolutely. Right now, what it reminds me of the most are the times during Jimmy Carter. You guys, I don't know, maybe I'm showing my age, but you might remember those days. The malaise speech. Oh yeah, wearing a sweater. That's about where we're at right now. So we'll see. Good old Carter days. Best thing about Carter is that we have money in the money market. We're getting 17%. So it was like fantastic. If you have money in the money market, if you didn't, you're kind of screwed. Mitchell Pike here. Hey, Mitchell. Thanks for watching. Okay, he's answering Fawad. Dang, Trump has been president more than 2 years now. He's our president. Time to move on with everybody bashing him and try to be productive to help this country. Yeah. And then, he's more complex than he shows, and that's what I think. He's more complex. I call him the cave because he's caved in on things that he said he's going to do. He's caved in on them. Okay, that's why I call him the cave. Some people might take it as him being dense. I don't think he's dense. I think he's caved in on things. Well, we'll see. But then also keep in mind I'm more of a conservative to the... I'm a constitutionalist, okay? I'm conservative to the Constitution. I'm an originalist. Let's see, moving on. Thanks for the comment. And keep in mind, guys, don't take anything personal. This is a debate where we're sharing ideas at a more intellectual level. It's important. So we don't get upset. We take things, okay, fine. I understand this. Here are the points. Yes. Okay. You guys get it. You guys get it? You know how I know that? Because you guys are like the greatest audience. I mean, you're coming up with great comments. So moving on. Oh, Michael E. says he tweets in code. Oh, gematria. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. That's that Serial Brain dude. Serial Brain 2 talks about gematria. And there is some evidence that where they have used gematria in the past, concealing. It's a way to conceal messages in plain sight, basically. And you can break it down, I think, down to a numeric type of thing, to where you have like... I think the most famous one is Skull and Crossbones, which is 233 or something like that. 223, 233. Anyway, check out gematria. I think they have like a translation thing on the web where you can type something in and it gives you a number or whatever. I don't use it, that's for sure. Okay, and Fawad says he hasn't seen a more chaotic presidency since the 1920s, but I think I should stop talking about politics. Well, you can talk about politics to me anytime, Fawad. I mean, I'm open. But yeah, it's kind of a two-way street. I mean, it's like, what's better, XLM or XRP? And everybody gets in a fight about it. Yeah. So anyway, the thing is, the whole point of this video is that basically I think we're moving away, that we are distancing ourselves from the Federal Reserve, from the central banks, which is an underlying stable, an underlying principle of blockchain, right? That's why I think's doing, and the whole 5G thing, the push for that is just to enable the rapid ability to communicate, to enable that actually happening. That's it in a nutshell. Okay, Michael Lee says, the thing about chaos has all been brought on by the Democrats' law. Michael, it's been brought on by the Republicans too. Keep in mind, there's not much difference between the Democrats and Republicans. It's more of a difference between capitalist and non-capitalist. The problem is, theoretic capitalism has not been able to exist in the United States for quite some time. Okay, we're more along the lines of fascist right now. And that being, fascist is not right, okay? It's not like the right side or the left side. What fascism is basically the a super duper heavy influence of corporations. It's merger between corporations and state, okay? That's pretty much fascism. Anyway, okay, lots of great comments here. I'd like to answer them all, but I gotta notice that I have to take off. I have a client coming real quick, out of the blue. So thank you so much. Oh, and then Christoph says 322. So I'll go ahead and read the rest of these stuff. They look really interesting, but I got to take off. Thank you guys for watching. I really super duper appreciate it. I super really appreciate all the Digibyte stuff. I am just blown away by your generosity. Thank you so much. I can't believe it. Anyway, have a wonderful, wonderful night. Put the comments below, like, subscribe, get notified, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.